Thanks for staying with us. So on Wednesdays, we like to talk about motivation, business, how to improve each other. And so today, we're bringing in a special guest. Joining us on the show is a founder and pastor of Global Impact Churches, Pastor Yemi Davis. He'll be speaking on ways the Nigerian youth can acquire different skill acquisition, develop their human capacity, and help in building this nation. One of the issues we have in this country is the fact that we have a huge percentage of youth population, and unfortunately, many of them are not as productive as they can be. So our question, therefore, is how do we birth a new nation with this amount of human capacity that we have? You can join the conversation at 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweet. Welcome, Pastor Yemi Davis.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you. So you're one of those forerunners of youth movements. We know we have you, we have Pastor Balaji, we have all those pastors, the yoppie pastors, you have a whole nation of young people who follow you.
Yeah.
But how do we convert that to nation building? How do we convert that to economic development? That's the issue we have, because it's one thing to have the hey on Sunday mornings, and it's a whole different thing that Monday morning comes in, nobody does anything. Yeah. So let's start with that conversation.
Yeah, thanks. I'm so glad to be here. I agree what you said. I feel pastors have the opportunity to really galvanize people to better our nation, especially young people. I'm privileged to pastor a lot of young people, and I think what I want to say is that young people should not feel helpless. There's this attitude of, okay, nobody can blame me for what I'm doing. Look at the nation, look at that. ASU is on strike, And if ASU is on strike, your brain is not on strike, for instance. The internet is not on strike. Technology is not on strike. You could do a whole lot. When I schooled in Obafemi University, early 90s. When we were on strike, you're fully on strike. There was no phones, But now you can do a whole lot where you are. I think a lot has to do with mindset, that when you have challenges around you, it's your best moment, an opportunity to thrive. So the mindset of, okay, this is my moment, changes everything.
But Nigeria doesn't let you thrive. I can see a young person. Sometimes I can put myself in the shoes of a young person. Yeah. Your mom does this, she's a petty trader. Your father rides an Okada. You are doing everything to work your way to school. You go to church on Sunday. You hear this nice message, and you think, what do I have? I don't have any support.
You have to use what you have. It's a mindset. There is no moment you will be in this life that won't be challenges. Believe me, they come in various shades and sizes. So if you're going to wait for everything to go off and be kind of better before you wake up, you're going to get old. Seize the moment. It's an opportunity. I mean, you see a lot of young people partnering together, doing businesses, Flutterwave, GG, all those stuff. You can do something.
No.
I am not an omolowo in that sense. And I mean, I don't know how you want to put it. When our church was to start several years ago, I didn't know anybody. I started from scratch. But it started with the mindset that, okay, this can work. You can teach people. You can do this. If you don't adjust the way you think, I can't help you. Right. We can't help you.
Nobody can.
Yeah, and I'm saying that to every young person. Even if you go out of the country, you still have to wake up. Yeah. You can't just get into any nation now and then take over the nation. Yeah. So I think the first thing we need to deal with is the mindset.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel very, very blessed. Whenever I try to recount my journey, I cannot remove the fact that I was blessed to be in Daystar very early. And the words, like the things I learned in life coaching class, the things I learned in NLP, these were the things Pastor Sam taught us every Sunday. You attend business schools and I'm hearing things that my pastor taught every Sunday. So I feel that pastors have a huge responsibility because we can change how people think. And it is important that we don't build a generation of members that are reliant on pastor said and more self-reliant. But I want to understand from your perspective how young people, because we now have a culture, people wake up in the morning, between 5 a.m. till 8 a.m. they are praying. And I understand it's important to pray, but I don't get how you can the productive hours, pray in the middle of the night, not in the morning. Please
it's
answer.
morning you pray now. You're all right. It's 5
hours in the morning.
No, not 3 hours.
They are jumping from, they will go from elevation to
Pastor
next
Balaji,
level.
six,
Then they will not finish with NSPPD, kilo day, and you will not do the work. So please.
No, prayer is good. But praying without work, it's plain.
Yeah.
Okay, action, I'm a stickler for action. In fact, your acting or you're doing what you should do is a form of prayers.
Yeah.
I'd rather you concentrate a lot on putting your ideas to work. It's a form of prayer because if you want to fail, fail, and then gather yourself together and move on. And I agree what you're saying. Well, the prayer thing, it's a kind of revival. The situation in our climate is so serious that people need it, especially with the pandemic that now hit about 2 years ago. So, but I think we should not just use the prayer thing as an end. It's a means to an end. Your celebration is not, I prayed. Now, after you prayed, you have received God's wisdom, you have received God's help, then go and
I'll take you up on that. Let me come in. This prayer matter. You just open a new can of worms. We'll go ahead.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I listen to you, and for every time I hear you speak, I'm always like, okay, so we still have people like this who teach practicals.
Yeah.
I'm very big on practicing.
Yeah.
I'm not big on let's just hear the word, sing, dance, and go home. You have to act it. And I'm happy. But I also realize that when I get a lot of young people meet me and they're telling me all of their problems, I ask a question, what do you have in your hand? What is that thing you can do? Because I can't, how many people would I employ? I don't even have an office. But I need to find that thing you can do. Then I will help you go through that process of maximizing what you already have, since you don't have family support and all of that. How do you begin to teach? How do we begin to teach these young people on how they can identify what they have? It's a major problem.
Fantastic.
There's this I want to blow syndrome. It's a crisis. And I think it's a social media thing. Many of the people in the entertainment industry, you just see them, the flashy cars, the airplanes, and they just think, okay, I want to arrive overnight. So one of the things we want to do first is to teach people about process. Anything you acquire without a process will not last. Process, patience. And then, as you said, use what you have, where you are. I mean, I've had to tell people, if you have to go and volunteer near your house, I love that. Start there. And then God can pick you up from there. Go and tell them, what can I do in this place? Whether you have certificate or not, you know, what can I do? And they look at you, can you do this? Yes. While you are doing that, something will happen.
Yes.
Nobody just stays at home binging on Netflix or whatever, you know.
And miracles.
And then wait for things to come. You got to move. Go and volunteer somewhere. Go and on your way out, oh, somebody says, oh, he can do that, she can do that, and then, okay, have this for your transport, and then you move up,
gradually.
you move up. But you must start with what you have. You have a friend that has some, everybody, we all have one cousin or friend that has some kind of leverage, either a better accommodation. Find someone to partner with. You must start where you are. And if you jump up, you're going to come down, okay? If you just want to blow, you blow, like blow. You know, but if you climb the rungs of the ladder, you last longer. So a lot has to do with mindset, and then you can start today where you are.
Okay.
What you have.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll move on to nation building. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view.
Thank you for staying with us. We still have Pastor Davis with us here. Before we go into nation building, you mentioned something that was really important concerning volunteering, because I know that even what I do right now with the Commissioner for Education was because I volunteered my time. After I resigned at TBC, I went to them and said, Madam, please, what can I help you to do? She said, I don't have any job for you. But I was volunteering my time 2-3 times a week, just come in there, help out to read papers, just starting out. And that's how I got into the work I'm doing with her right now.
Imagine.
So young people we tell them to volunteer, but they are expecting something in return. Let's harp on that a bit more. How important is volunteering in this?
Permit me to say what Jesus said, that he that will be the greatest among you must be the servant of all.
Yeah.
I think it's a serving or servant's heart, a servanthood, you know, that attitude of wanting to serve. Not just wanting to collect immediately. It's a problem we have on this side, you know, where everybody wants to just earn something on the same day. Just get somewhere and be willing to serve. I can guarantee you it will open up something. It could just be somebody within that organization that will pick you up and then give another opportunity somewhere else, or but be willing to serve. And what that does is it improves you. Apart from the monies you're going to get later on, and you're going to get better when you serve.
Yeah.
You're improving on your skills, on your relationships with people, rather than stay home and complaining and reacting to
But
everybody.
Pastor, sometimes it doesn't work like that. I know people that have volunteered and it didn't turn out well. As
You
in,
move to the next one.
But you learned, they became something.
You pick up something, and then you move to the next one. I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
Nothing. How did you start working?
Right, right.
So you get, I mean, you've had relationships, you broke up with somebody, didn't you move on? You can't expect the first place you step into, they can chase you out, but I'm encouraging you, move to the next one.
Yeah.
Can you just throw yourself ahead 10 years and then see yourself somewhere discussing how they were throwing you out?
Yeah.
And then one day you stumbled on the right one. Can you see yourself doing that?
I love the stories.
Yeah, it's better.
I've been sacked before.
have, yes.
I've been fired. I got a sack letter.
Throw yourself 10 years ahead and then see yourself talking somewhere, maybe your 40th birthday or something, and then you're referring to the first place you entered at 22 or 19, and then how they abused you, and you cried on the way, and then a week after you went to somewhere else, and then the third one, and then here you are. When you sit like that, it changes your mood. In fact, when they chase you out now, you just laugh. I will talk about this one.
Let me quickly add, that is even your success story.
Without the story,
Every successful person has a story that inspires. And the deeper and depthier your story is, the more people you inspire tomorrow.
I've never heard it the way you said it before, but like I've done it. So I can never forget the day I went to meet my husband and I was sharing an idea with him. He was downstairs in his office in his car. And he was saying, you are going to do something else again. You're always doing different. You're always doing different things. And I was crying. I was telling him that, let me just do it. Let me do it. One day in future, I'll be able to share the story and say, I tried different things. I was confused. And then I found the one that worked and I'm sticking to it. Like, I remember crying and telling him, you should just let me do it. Because I did a playback of, I will say, I was once confused, and then I figured it out.
So you put yourself ahead, knowing that what would I be saying in the future?
So I created a picture, and I think it will help a lot of volunteers who struggle in that.
At any age, just throw yourself ahead. As a father, throw yourself as a grandfather.
And tell yourself
what you'll be saying then. You know,
what would you like
as
to
a teenager, throw yourself. Just throw yourself
I like that.
and look back. At 40, throw yourself at your 50th
All right,
birthday.
let's talk about throwing ourselves
like
and a nation, because, you see, we've been praying. This country, there's any nation in the world that knows how to pray. We are the prayer of this world. We are praying, but yet our country is not where it's supposed to be. We all travel all the time, and we keep comparing. I think it's to say, why Nigeria win? So when we gather young people and they're encouraged to pray, what do you encourage them to pray about? Like, do we continue praying, or how do we wrestle and rest back and get our nation from people who have not done much for this country?
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think that's the new narrative. Prayer is not enough. We don't stop praying. But, you know, when I was on campus, I remember individuals that used to complain about their dads. My dad did this, my dad did that. And then years after, get married, and then they're not behaving like their dad. And I've told some of them that you said this thing like 15 years ago in school, and you're doing the same thing, maybe even worse. So young people need to rise up. You can be agitating. The question is, are you ready? Are you getting prepared? When you get into government or you are the CEO or something, many people are not ready. They just, it's like marriage, you know. I want to get married. I must get married. You're not learning about marriage itself. And then you get married on a Saturday. We all celebrate. And then on Sunday morning or Monday, you don't even know how to run the marriage. And then 1 year after, you are out. So prayer is not enough. Are you training up for the kind of nation you want? ASU is on strike. Go online. Harvard had some very free courses all over. Learn, grow, be the nation you want. You want to have. It's a major, because many of the people, and this is a major thing. Many of the people reacting today, when they get into government in 5 years' time, they're going to do worse because they are not really prepared. They're not prepared. I want us to focus on preparation. Look, the nation is not in the best shape, and it's not going to happen. The best is not going to happen in 4 years. It's a long haul. We want to believe that in the next 4 years it's going to get better. So if we have a 20-year plan, then you should be part of that plan. Get yourself ready. You're a young woman. You are reacting. What if you become the wife of the senator, wife of the governor? What will you do? Are you ready? Are you training up yourself? And I think that's what churches should do now. I realized over the years we used to have Bible schools in churches. And Bible schools generated loads of pastors. And we're doing fairly well globally. Maybe we need to have government schools now. Like we have in our church, a good governance group, where whether you are an accountant, train people that one day when you get into this thing you are complaining about, you should know what to do.
Exactly.
You know, how to galvanize resources. Everybody loves development, whether you are this religion or this group. Everybody loves good roads, good schools. It's not, nobody gets into a train and says this group train. If it's good, it's good. So,
let me take this call from Soji. Soji's going to hold it for. Good morning, Soji. Are you there from Maiduguri? Hello, Soji. I think I lost that call.
Yeah, so I wanted to say that, you know, when it comes to this prayer issue, the sort of prayers I see are those prayers that you back orders. You're just backing, I want this, I want that. And after backing those orders, you claim to have faith and you suspend your natural thinking abilities, which I believe God has given you. So you have a problem in your hand. And instead of looking at this problem critically, thinking about what you can do, exploring your resources, you run to backing orders and finish backing orders, you now wait for somebody to do something. How do we teach our young people how to pray? I think even Jesus even gave us like steps on how to pray.
I believe prayers should be very strategic. I rather pray for God's wisdom on how to tackle the problem. Now, this is not to say that the deprivation in our climate, the health sectors, you know, all those sectors are not in the best shape, and people are looking for answers, and that's why they're going to cry to God. And believe me, you don't want to go to some of those hospitals. You don't want to even be there. So anything that will keep you from there, oh God, help me, you know. And then in terms of security, so that I think it's one reason why that is thriving and will continue to thrive. But we need to teach this aspect where, okay, God won't do everything for you. God won't solve your problems in the sense of suspend your brain. The Holy Spirit would help you to think, but you must think and take steps. He's not going to be running your marriage for you, for instance, or your business for you. You know, you got to read, you go to seminars, you got to have meetings. So you need God's wisdom to do that. So I think it's just to align it a bit more.
All right. Let me take this call from Matthew. Matthew, are you there? Oh, we're having issues with our phone today. Good morning, Matthew. Are you there? If you have any messages on social media, go ahead, talk
I want still within
nation building.
Still within nation building, and because I realized that we are a very religious country, we have all our leaders practice either Christianity or Muslim or Islam, and I feel that if the church would be audacious enough to call out, because you cannot have people that worship with you, that are commissioners, and you find out the road they're not working, and you cannot call out that you are, because if the church builds someone, you have to be able to say that we contributed to your growth, and if you're a member of this church and you're stealing money, don't come back again. If you get a position of power, you prayed your way into political leadership.
Now what have you done?
What have you done with that position that God has given you? You come here, you sit in front, you have a special, but what we see is they have special seats. They are recognized. Yes, maybe not in some churches, but they get the recognition even when people come and do Thanksgiving in churches after they've been in prison. And I know we want to thank God that they've come out of prison, but like, we're not addressing the issues that we have so many Christians in leadership, and we have such a corrupt system still thriving.
I think it's a responsibility for my generation, okay? We have to speak out more in terms of, I said in church, if you're earning and you're prophesying God's blessings on your righteous labor. Because not every labor, you know, those kind of things. I feel it's...
So you put caveats there.
Yeah, so that you don't think every kind of labor, and just do anything and then earn anything. No, earn from your, you can earn from right and you can earn from wrong. So I feel it's a responsibility for maybe younger pastors, thank God for a forum like this, where because we speak with people weekly. That's powerful, weekly. And we can shape the nation weekly by the things we tell people. And then the one that I think is most crucial, our own examples as leaders. Because people see people follow what you do more than what you say. How are we living, pastors? How are you running your life? no matter what you say, don't you, present a better example.
Do you have a mopo that follows you around?
No, I didn't see mopo today.
You don't have a police that's assigned to you, you sure?
No.
Oh. I didn't see. No, I mean, listen. You said we should leave.
On the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
No, please. That doesn't mean someone that has a mopo is wrong.
No, we're just asking.
I don't have a mopo.
We're only asking you a question.
I'm angels of God.
Okay, no problem. Let me take this call from Soji. I think he's back. Good morning. Are you there? Hello, Soji. Hello, Soji. Are you there?
I don't know.
Good Lord.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead. Bisi.
Yes. So I know one of the reasons young people don't want to continue is when they have failed and failed and failed, and they just feel there's no hope. How do you begin to teach that failure is also a part of it, to encourage people? How do we begin to tell our young people now that it's okay to fail?
Okay, yeah. Thank you, because everybody fails. Every one of us here, we failed somewhere, a relationship, exam. I've failed before. All men fail, but the great ones, they rise again. For every right story you see on Instagram, they have their own failures, and I wish they could speak up to that. All men fail, the great ones rise again. Failure is another opportunity to begin again more intelligently.
I like that.
All men fail,
The
great ones rise
Be part of the
again.
great ones, because you will have a story to tell. The books that sell, the interviews that work are from people with authentic, genuine, rich stories. If you say you're a millionaire, okay, how? I just made it. How?
By God's grace.
By God's grace. You go and sit down somewhere. What did you do? I started my first business. I failed here, and then I cried. My wife left me, whatever. And then after 3 years, that's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
That will encourage us.
All right. Let me go on a break. See, there's another angle I'd like us to enter into: marriage, and how, because finding a wife for a man in church is such a, and maybe in the mosque also, it's such a difficult task, because these men, they want all these. They want Sister Mary, but they want Sister Mary. Sister Mary, but Sister Mary.
They want Sister Mary, but they want
An experienced Sister Mary.
Hot Mary.
Hot Mary, God bless you. So we need to understand, should we go for Sister Mary or Sister Mandalay?
The one that is
Mandalay. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, Pastor Davies, I'm going to ask you a very direct question.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that it's not all the time we have pastors in our midst. Do Christian men still want a tongue-speaking sister who is kabashing, who is a prayer warrior, who is a virgin, do they still want this kind of women? Because those are the kind of women we were raised to be.
Okay.
But today, it's like the needs of a Christian man, a single Christian man, has changed. So the sisters in church are wondering, what exactly? Because when they will bring the wife, they want to get married. They brought her from one place, and they're wondering, this auntie that I know that is in a club, so you're wondering, what do young Christian men want?
I think I should be asking them too.
Asking who?
The men.
Okay.
Because in church, when I'm praying for single people, I speak to them a lot. What are you looking for? Sometimes when you are looking for what is not lost, that you pick what you should not pick. Oh, yes, because, that's what we call the law of recognition. Everything you need is around you, just waiting for you to recognize it. So I see, say, young man, you're advancing in age, and you're disturbing us about marriage. There must be somebody around. I tell them, look at these vast thousands of people. Are you saying there is no woman here that fits you? You have a problem, perhaps. Oh, yes. Because what are you looking for? Adam and Eve was close by. The wife should not be far from you, either in your local assembly or your place of work. When you now begin, in your environment, that community. But the moment you now start overreaching, that's when people carry problems.
Interesting.
So I keep saying that, and I've seen people just,
I really agree with that, because I think sometimes some men have this, social media has given them an image they want, so they'll be looking for what is not lost when what they need is around them. I want to take you back. It seems not back. I want to talk to you about testimonies.
Yeah.
I've always felt funny about the way we share testimonies in church. We share testimonies without highlighting the process. I want to thank God for our life. Last year, we did not have a house. This year, God gave us a house. He gave us a car. He gave us this one. You did not talk about the fact that last year that you did not have a house. Maybe the money you would have used.
Or something.
The detail is not for you now. I can testify. I don't have to give you my details.
It helps to give the right perspective. Like, I was in church, they prayed. When I joined this prayer meeting that morning, as I joined, I received a text message. As I received a text message, it was, like we share testimonies of like miracles. We don't break down processes. And everybody is now waiting for miracle. That one that's just, your eye just opened. Your leg was not working well, and then your leg just bent. It just became working well. And that, for me, is not a realistic thing. Because everyday process is God's miracle in His own.
No, I disagree.
So
I disagree because there are times when you wake up in the morning, you get a text message. I just got a text message, and I was telling her, Auntie, I'm still researching. On the text message,
No, because by the time you finish your research, it will form the story.
For me, there was a story.
For me, there are two reasons why we share testimony. First, to glorify God. Second, to help others. And you won't help them without mentioning the process, a bit of a process. I think time constraints in most churches is the reason why that is, and that's powerful feedback because, okay, you got a house. Me too, I want a house. But what did you do? Okay, so what we tell people in our place is, okay, they need what you did and then what
But don't miracles happen anymore? Because somebody wakes up in the morning and somebody can get a call and say, wait, come and collect the house key. That's happened. Wait, I'll just dash you house key. It's a miracle. There's no process.
Wait, you did not need house. You did not pay.
You did not add value to the person's life.
You did not save money.
You did not know
work
the
for this
person.
person. All of a sudden, a new person.
I did not know you from anywhere.
Miracles come from various. I mean, what she's saying is true.
It
There are
happens
some
now.
that receive like that, fine. But not everybody receives like that.
Yeah, never see
So
that.
that's what makes it look like that is how everybody receives it. Because
What is the process?
IVF. People would go, they would do IVF.
Freeze egg.
They would do, and when they want to share testimony, God did it for me. No, God did it for you through IVF. Because that other woman in church is looking and saying, if God can do it for this person, but I've been waiting. She said 12 years. God did 12 years, but we know God used IVF to do 12 years.
Okay, I get the point. Okay, that point makes sense.
that's powerful because sometimes people now release their faith wrongly. Thinking that, okay, and that person can also do IVF and get their own miracle.
Yeah.
So if
that's
it's
a valid
IVF,
point.
you say it. If it's not IVF, that's a good
valid
feedback.
point.
Thank
Yes,
you.
go ahead.
Yes, so I got a message yesterday. So there's this thing I do on my social media page. I say, ask BC. So people will send in questions. And I got one yesterday, and this young lady was saying that she's looking for a job. And she saw an advert from her classmate in school in her restaurant. She was asking me if she should apply.
Okay.
And I said, do you really need a job? She said, yes. I said, then why can't you apply? And she says, because she's my classmate.
Oh, she doesn't want to work for
Yes. So I now said, your classmate is not your life mate. Because we went to the same school does not mean our success will come at the same time. I want you to talk on that because a lot of people have that mindset. They see you,
Humility.
you all started together, and all of a sudden one person starts rising, and you're feeling, why am I not rising when this person is rising? I used to dash her money in school. I used to do this. How do we understand that everybody has their timelines for success?
I think it's all about teachings too, and the kind of things we say as leaders, as pastors. We have times and seasons. I have a friend, for instance, whose dad, of course, more buoyant than my dad. So when we left school, they gave him a house. But me, I have to still believe God, put monies together for house rent. So put things in proper perspective. And then you have to learn to stoop to conquer. Very important. That you are going to serve in your classmates' place does not mean that's where you're going to end. Get there, serve joyfully. Maybe the pain will drive you further. But to dodge that pain, you might pay, sorry, you might...
You might
what's that in English?
You take.
English did not just convey it. You will take. It's a better
Please, because you have to pass the test of humility before you can become great. And they come in various shades. Either you have to serve your mate, or your boss is one person that you don't dislike their tribe or something. You have to pass the test of humility. You have to. We all have to go through it. It comes in various shades. Your classmate, your junior. you know, in quotes. And how do you define junior?
Interesting.
Yeah, because that somebody was your junior in school doesn't mean he's your junior.
in life.
Ah, that's deep.
Oh, yes.
You got to let that settle in.
Yeah. we have plenty
Please,
people
let's
on Twitter. Immaculate Boy says, please, Murayo, talk about our sisters that are looking for made man.
Hi.
Ready-made, but ignore the fasting fire branded bra because it does not look good.
Thank you.
Let me talk because
Okay, let's
talk to the men.
Yeah, they are talking.
No, because if my wife was going to look at me at that time, she would marry me. Marriage is a beginning. Seed form. No seed looks so beautiful. Hardly the purple seed, the apple seed, they look, you know, shapeless and ugly. So I think if the woman is not discerning, you won't be able to see the fruit inside the seed. So you meet a man that maybe just started a job, you know, and just trying to start up life. Your discernment, if it's there, should be able to project. But if you're looking for harvest to start with, then that might be the end.
Ah, hallelujah.
Am I making some
That's some
sense?
deep stuff right there, right?
Oh, yes, because, and even for the men too, seed form, they're not perfect people.
Please, let me understand.
Let it settle.
If you look for harvest, that's the end.
beginning, yes,
But
the
if you see they are looking for, it will still
There's some
germinate.
for you to grow and
cha.
manifest. That's why some marriages actually just boom after a year or two because
But you know, timing is one thing that makes people just go for harvest. When we on this table, when we started very young. So there was time to see potential and tag along,
when
and
you're
you're building yourself.
40s.
I'm building myself. But some women get to the age of 40
Yeah.
and there's no husband. So now is
harvest
not the
they
time
find.
exactly
Na
to be
harvest.
looking for seed. How
telling
do
you.
you advise
Correct.
such people? That's one. Second, some of these, I wanted to ask you, were you brushing your teeth at that time that you're done
Yes,
with
you
it?
were.
Were you washing your clothes properly?
Because you see some
Were you
brothers
using
in church.
deodorant?
Some brothers in
Were
church,
you
man.
taking care
no,
of
no,
yourself?
that's not. I don't like that.
So
No,
please speak to that.
So that's two issues.
I do a lot of teachings on that. Some don't take their bath, you know, it's bad. Even married men. I've had women complain to me that my husband wants to make love, you know, regularly, and yet, Pastor, help me tell him. So, I don't like that. How can you go to the toilet and not clean up properly?
Jesus Christ.
Hey.
Are you for real?
You know, and so that happens, and a lot of men need to learn to groom themselves. I mean, you have so much beards, like a gorilla. You don't shave. What is that?
Women tell you a lot of things, right?
Yeah, Pastor.
And men, I love that.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine how hard that would be for me to address? Because the woman tells you and still begs you not to mention.
Yes. And the husband will tell you.
How will I tell a man that the person you make love to?
He's saying that you're not shaving.
So he always gets to know, so you just have to package it well that, you know, but I beg all the single men,
Just try.
especially the ones that are seemingly spiritual. Life is holistic. You are fasting. Brush your teeth. The entire world does not need to know that you are fasting.
Thank you.
Take some, whatever it is, deodorant, you know, there are levels.
Very important.
Smell nice, yes.
I want you to touch on the 40-year-old young lady that
When I
not
say
looking for
seed, you know, it's in various categories.
Okay.
For that person, the kind of seed will be different.
We're contemporary.
Yeah, that's the way you, I mean, yeah, man have a job and everything, but there's still a seed in him that will help
There's
the journey.
yet to harvest.
Yes, you know that, okay, I can run on a journey with this one. Not that what I've been delayed in my life, when I now start this one too, I will return to delay after a year again. I think it has to do with discretion, you know, weighing the various options you have.
Now, because you're Pastor Davis, and I mean, I won't ask any pastor this kind of question because it is you. You're a yuppie pastor.
Now, wow.
So this, you're on trial today. This other room matter. A lot of women are not satisfied. The men act as if they are Nigerian men. They sabi, and half of them don't sabi nothing. Because we get people sending us messages all the time. The men need to, because Nigerian men need to take the other room matter seriously. People assume they know, but many of them don't know. And the women are frustrated that they are married to men that are clueless in the other one, but they're too egoistic to seek for help or to understand. Pastor Davis, help us. How do you help these men to understand? I mean, do even you need help, Seth, in the matter? Are you one of those that need help?
No, what help? I need help. We all need help one way or the other. You're correct. You said they assume they know, and it's a problem of the African man. Not only about sex, many things. You see it on social media. You don't even know how to differentiate between fake news, you know, how to verify before you start sharing. So a lot of men, it's a traditional stuff, you know, our culture, sorry. And I think we can voice it out here that maybe as a married man, you should ask your wife today or this week.
Are we good?
Am I doing good? Not even are we good. Am I doing good? Is there something you want to tell me? Maybe you should just do that because my wife had to address that some years ago. I just thought I was fine, you know, and then she just made a comment. That's the way your wife will make a comment, and you know it's nebulous, you know. It has some other...
I
say, come. Hey, now, you don't ask me what I love, what I enjoy, but I thought you... Come, sorry. You got there. You know? But sometimes I do that to just make you feel you're okay.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
No. I like this, I like that. I think, you know, the main challenge...
But also it's demonic to do all those things.
What?
That is what we hear. That is what a child of God doesn't do those things.
We are saying here that it's not demonic. When you are with your own spouse in your own closet, whatever the two agree on, it flows. You are like one flesh, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what we're now saying is, don't be selfish out there. Enjoy and go. Can you ask the other part? Because most likely the things you enjoy are not the things she enjoys.
Sure.
You know, so love is a sacrifice one way or the other. You know, you have to ask her, what does she like? And there are times you even go to the other room to please her completely. You know, just have those kind of
Be selfless.
Yes, that will help
May
you.
not be me today, not just you.
If you have that will help you get your own too. So it becomes like a way and a way
Okay,
go,
let's talk
you know?
for kids French.
Can I ask
My pastor that you're calling your pastor.
Oh, yeah.
just add one? So this other room, I used to feel like, was there anywhere written in the scriptures that it must be done in that room?
No.
There are different aspects of the house.
Yes.
Why don't we preach about trying the kitchen and does it have to be in that room? No, it's a question
So
for marriage.
the challenge
Please, you are
is...
going into X-rated matters.
He knows how to
I
handle
mean,
it.
there's some things you can't
We'll make
say.
it decent.
There's some things you can't say on a Sunday morning because of the mixed crowd. But in the couples fellowship, which unfortunately some couples don't even want to attend, then I mean we've had to bring sex therapists to our own couples fellowship with various gadgets.
Really? Gadgets?
Yes. I mean, for the couples.
Pastor Bimbo did this, I'm sure.
Yes. And then with pictures, you know, and then teach them, and it was a great time.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people are ignorant. Marriage is the only place where you are certified before you school. Other places we go to school, 4 years accounting. But here, they go for a ceremony and they give certificate and the journey starts. So you don't know it. You don't have been a husband before, a wife before. So be willing to learn.
So the learning part for me is really worrisome because it's tough to get men to attend to counseling.
Yes.
It's a very tough process to say, oh, let's go for counseling. You mean that there's something wrong in our marriage? Is there anything wrong in that? Like,
What are we talking to?
What are we going to? That one said get problem.
Yes.
The counselor you want us to go and talk to, he said get problem. And so we evade situations that can be dealt with early.
Yeah.
How do we encourage male and female? Because I've had cases where it's the woman that doesn't want to attend to counseling and those trainings. But demographically, more women go for trainings than men. And how do we start encouraging men to...
Yeah, we had Father's Day, and one of our pastors is a medical doctor. And one of the things we also realize that even when it comes to health matters, women go to hospital, you know, to check up. Men, they only go when there's a crisis.
Yes.
So it's not just beyond, I mean, so it's a cultural thing. And I said to men in our church, the marriage of this time is not like that of your own parents, where mom will not say anything. Your wife will talk now.
Yeah.
If she's not enjoying the love making, she's going to talk or she will hold back. So don't wait until there's a crisis mode before you learn to talk. Communication is a major weakness for African men, African politicians. They don't talk. So it's a major thing.
Right,
and
so
if you have sons, let's try and train them to communicate on time.
So I know you have an event coming up. I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But before we do that, 2023 is around the corner. A lot of young people are getting their PVCs, they're voting. Some churches are getting radical. Some are saying, you know what, vote your conscience. What's your perspective on as we approach 2023?
First, for young people, we have the numbers. Okay? I think 15 million voted last election, 11 million was counted or something. If you have like almost 20 million plus young people, we have the numbers. I want us to get involved. Register. If there's a party you like, you don't have to demonize another party.
Absolutely.
Join the one and let the democratic thing, you know, process have its own flow. If you want to form pressure groups, they're fine. I love the Save Nigerian group, all those groups where you express, you know, what can help shape government policy. A lot of young people need to, beyond joining political parties, we need to form, different pressure groups. Like, enough is enough. They're doing fantastically well. We need more of that, where they can, okay, we want this, we want that. There's a level of voicing that would help parties to align.
Yeah.
Our first daughter was like 15 last election. Now she's 19. And she said that they want to vote. So I like that. And so we have the teeming population of people. So, but you need to get politically literate. Many people just do things. I mean, I saw something on Twitter. I don't know. Somebody that has millions of followers. And then on primary day had 2 people voted for him. Some of us know the story. So that should help you understand that it's not just the
social media.
Yeah, get into the words. Ask, read about it, join whatever party you want to join. Don't demonize somebody else. Don't carry fake stories. And then let's move. Right. Okay? Let's move. I think, because it's a long haul. Where we are is not too good as a nation. Yeah. It's not going to be perfect in 4 years. It's when we fantasize, fantasy, like in 4 years' time, want corruption to be out, that will make mistakes. That process will make you take wrong steps.
Let's take a okay,
yes, let me just add this. So I know that there's the power of life and death in the tongue.
Yes.
And I hear a lot of Nigerians in frustration. So Nigeria is frustrating almost everybody. I don't think there's anybody here that Nigeria has not frustrated. But how do we help ourselves by not speaking negatively towards the country? You hear people saying the country is bad, the country is this is. How do we focus? Because I know that everything is just at the pool.
I thank you so much, because there's a law of life that says you don't prosper in a nation you slander. You can't continue to curse. It's like marriage. If you keep cursing your wife, your husband, everything, check it, things are going to go down. So, on a larger scale, you can't continue to demonize the nation. Can you change your language? You can't prosper in a nation you slander. There are opportunities in spite of the seeming darkness. But the opportunities, the ideas, the concepts, the creative idea, the innovation will flow into people that believe that the ideas are there. So while you speak to issues, right, can you speak well about the future?
Hallelujah.
Instead of causing the darkness, can you light a candle?
Hey!
And that starts with your tongue.
We don't finish the show.
That's the end.
That's it.
Let's go home.
Thank you. Your event is coming. Tell us about it.
Yeah, okay. We have a recharge conference. We believe that the year is divided into 2 parts, just like a football match, And after the first half, we want to recalibrate, rethink, re-energize for the second half. A lot can happen the second half of the year.
Yes.
A lot. And so the recharge conference is that platform where people can learn, worship God, ask questions, and just pick up energy. If you did well in the first half, you can do weller in the second half. If you had challenges, maybe you failed somehow, you can, just...
So when is it? What day? How do you register?
That's Wednesday, 6th of July to 10th of July.
Oh, my birthday.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, we have great speakers coming up. So you can just get on Global Impact NG, and all the details are out there.
Okay, we're looking forward to
2022.
Wow. Oh, we're looking forward to that.
Last year's one, so.
You're serious?
Oh, you went for last year's one?
I'm a YouTube. I watch on YouTube, and I enjoy it very well.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I just those 2 things just stuck in my head. You can't prosper in a nation you slander. You got to put that on. And instead of cursing the darkness, light a candle.
God bless you,
in fact, that's my slogan for this week.
For the whole year.
For the whole year, Seth. We must continue to remind Nigerians.
It's very easy to forward those things to you. Just forward it to you. This something is catching somewhere. Did you see them carrying guns somewhere? Light a candle.
And just focus on the issues, but then...
Let's take a few comments on social media before we run off.
Oh, yeah.
So, Chichi Unscripted said, I like this kind of pastor. I shall need to know his views on charity, tithe and offering before following him. Excellent stance in motivation. You have a lot of fans here.
Right, let me find.
So any final words for our viewers? Because I have a few minutes left. Any final words for young people out there? You talked about marriage, you talked about building themselves, mind change, you talked about the government. Final words on
this. It's better to prepare for the future you're asking for, because it will just be your turn. We have had people become presidents in our country that never thought they would become president. We have people that thought they would become president that didn't become president. So while you are thinking and reacting, please prepare. Not just for politics, business and career, prepare.
Leadership.
Yeah, prepare. That marriage, prepare. Don't just prepare for the day, prepare for the life. Read about how to treat a woman, how to treat a man, how to parent. Everybody comes from a family, everybody. So how are you going to build your family? Because that's the building block for the nation. Prepare for the future you are disturbing God about, in that sense.
Fantastic. So I think in a nutshell, I'd like to summarize those two quotes I just got from you. Crossing the darkness and light, instead of crossing the darkness, light a candle. So instead of condemning, constantly condemning, oh, NEPA took light, oh, this happened, what are you doing? How are you lighting the candle in this whole darkness? What are you doing positively to affect others? There's illuminating to affect others positively, even in midst of the darkness. You know, what are you modeling? Are you modeling? Yeah,
we can also say, so we're not saying you should lie about what is happening. NEPA took light is NEPA took light.
Yes.
We can complain that NEPA took light. But don't go further to say because this country is
never have light.
This country will never come out of there, you know, because NEPA took light. So you can highlight the issues you want to talk about, address those issues, and find a way to proffer solution. Not
solutions,
not causing the general country.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just
okay. And then the other part that says that you cannot prosper in a nation that you slander. So you're constantly slandering and talking negatively. Some of this is convenient because you're out of the country. Hey, after slandering, you live in New York, you have your electricity, you're fine. That nation can never do well. Oh, those leaders. You keep saying that, but you see, it's comfortable. But there's some people here too. We are here. We don't have options. We are here.
That's what I tell people. I tell them that whatever you say, I live in Nigeria, my parents live here, I have many family and friends here, I have people I love here. Even if I decide to, if I japa, I cannot carry everybody at the same time. So this place must work. Because we must have a home. And we must always believe that there's possibility here.
Yeah, and our words are actually energy. It takes about 33 positive energies to cancel one negative one.
Wow. So and everybody is negative at the same time.
Yes, and if we are all negative at the same time, it's just like a cloud, a dark cloud over the country. It will take us a longer time than if we all speak positive. See, forget about the issues that are happening. Every other country has it. I've been in New York. I've said everything that they have there. Let's focus on how to lift ourselves up while we are holding the government accountable.
Thank you very much, Pastor Yemi Davis.
Thank you, Pastor.
Pleasure having you on the show.
We had fun.
That is all we can take on the show today. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.